The following podcast is a live recording of a radio show first broadcast by Fresh FM with assistance from New Zealand On Air.
At this late stage, we have decided to pair that up with another famous Patrick, who only passed away recently, the last couple of weeks, Pat Inglesby. So let's pair it up with a clip from Pat.
So do your mothers work hard?
Mine does, yeah. Mine does.
Like, yeah. I was just thinking, supposing your mother said tomorrow morning, I'm going on strike.
I made me bank account.
So how would you cope? Like, you'd come down for breakfast in the morning.
And you go, get your own breakfast.
What?
Get your own breakfast.
Can you get your own breakfast?
Yeah.
What would you get?
Cornflakes. Just get cornflakes.
That's boring. Cornflakes are.
Put your rations in the microwave.
That's all I do.
Have you got a microwave?
No, we have. We had one, but we don't have one now.
Have any of you got watches?
Yeah. I have mine at home.
Yeah, you're all well off. I'd say most of you have a colour television in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
And a video?
No. I'm getting one this year. No. I might be getting one this year.
Yeah.
We have two Mitsubishis, one upstairs and
Two Mitsubishis, one upstairs and one downstairs.
We have a Philips. I'll kill you.
And how can you make sure? Listen, a friend of mine, someone broke into a friend of mine's house recently and robbed everything in the house. How can you make sure that your house isn't broken into?
Look at the rocks. Make sure your locks are secured and everything. Make sure they're okay before you go out and check them.
And get a big savage Alsatian dog.
There's this old lady in a flat somewhere, I don't know where. And she was that so afraid she got herself locked in so well. And these fellas came up and they couldn't get in, so they burnt the house and killed her.
An old lady?
Yeah, that's why she was locked in so good she couldn't get out.
Yeah.
She burnt the house.
In England, a lady was trying to get broke in and she barricaded all the door, and the robbers still got in, and she only had £2 in the house. Anything else wasn't really valuable, so they didn't care, so they bet her up only for £2.
That's bad.
It was in the paper, her face was all burnt and all.
Patrick, you said to me you're not going to sing, didn't you? You're not going to sing. Somebody else said to me you're not going to ballet dance. When are you ballet dance? I'd love to. What?
Go away with your ballet dance.
I'd love to see you boys ballet dancing in lovely purple tights. You'd be beautiful. You'd be lovely.
Of course, Pat was, 1st of March he died. He was a famous Irish poet and TV show host. I'd vaguely remember him now from growing up. Bit of a legend. And he has passed away. 82 he was. Come on, Pat. Another famous Patrick. Ticked off the list. Jesus, a fair list. I think we'll stay in Ireland for the next one. Pádraic Pearse, one of the most famous of all Irish men, and what he was involved in. And we don't have any audio of him talking, but we have a song and we have a clip. So we're going to horse them on now and keep the ball rolling, because we're gone off the 3-hour mark, which is absolute lunacy. But we're here now and we have a list to finish, and these Pats deserve to be celebrated. Episode 103. Paddy Chinwagon. The Paddy Chinwagon is outside. But we're flat out here with pathology. So, and it is gone pathological almost, the amount of time I'm spending here. But anyway, let's get this on.
Pearse was frightfully shy. He was also very reserved. He didn't go around. Now, I never met him at Russell's house, or the Columns, or Madame Markovich's house in Leinster Road. I never met him socially anywhere. But on this occasion, anyhow, we went out to see McDonagh in St Enda's, which was at this time in Rathfarnham. And we were all standing in the library talking, when McDonagh suddenly got me by the arm and said, come outside, John, I want to talk to you about something. So I went out, leaving my sister in the room with Pearse. Will you see Pearse? Will you see Pearse? He won't stay in the room for a minute with her. And the next thing, the door opened and Pearse shot down the passage with his head down, like as if he was pursued by devils. I never seen anything so funny.
Louise Gavin Duffy had just arrived from France.
I had seen Pádraic Pearse once when he came to examine a Gaelic League class that I was in, and I had been greatly impressed by him. A strange, arresting man, I told a friend, with a rough-hewn face. Not beautiful, but extraordinarily attractive.
Mrs. Tom Clark found him silent, distant.
I met him again and again and spoke to him. But he was a difficult character to understand. And the things I might think of him mightn't be fair. So I just don't think about him. I just remember him as a man that I met in the shop who was very silent. He could write beautifully, you see. He did write beautifully. But when he came to talking with you, you'd hardly ever hear him talking. He'd come into the shop sometimes if Tom wasn't there. He'd stand and look around, then say, good morning and off. He's a silent kind of type.
In Dublin town in 1916, a flame of freedom did arise. A group of men with determination caught an empire by surprise. And through the streets our men were marching, they rallied with their hopes and fears. And the end the boys came marching for their leader, Padric. The poet and the Irish rebel, a Gaelic scholar and a visionary. We gave to him no fitting tribute, when Ireland's a peace, only that can be. When Ireland's a nation united and free. On Easter morn they faced the nation from the steps of the GPO. And they read aloud the proclamation the seed of a nation had to sow. But soon the word had spread to London of an insurrection there at hand, and the deeds of Padraic who set about to free his land. The poet and the Irish rebel, a Gaelic scholar and a visionary. We gave to him no fitting tribute, when Ireland's a peace, only that can be. When Ireland's a nation united and free. For 5 long days the battle rages, for 5 long nights the battle war. He watched as Dublin city blazes, see his men go to the floor. Now Ireland's proud of his efforts, for her cause he fought with pride. To save more life, to save our city, we'll make our peace, MacPirish cried. The poet and the Irish rebel, a Gaelic scholar and a visionary. We gave to him no fitting tribute, when Ireland's a peace, only that can be. When Ireland's a nation united and free. Kilmaine in jail in 1960, they brought young Pearse from his dead cell. And they had tried him as a traitor, to shoot a man who dared rebel. He only tried to free his country out the shackles of 800 years. As dawn did break on that May morning, they shot our leader, Padric. The poet and the Irish rebel, a Gaelic scholar and a visionary. We gave to him no fitting tribute, when Ireland's a peace, only that can be. When Ireland's a nation united and free.
Aware of it as an event, the famine? I don't think we own it.
Well, I'll say 2 things about that. First of all, you could say that in Ireland, the survivors of the famine, it was difficult. Like who, and for us, 5 or 6 generations down, right? Who wants to be told that their ancestors, their great-great-great grandfather and grandmother died on the side of the road with the grass stains on their mouth because, they were treated like animals and then they ended up in bestial kind of situations. It's not exactly a feel-good story, is it? We did sweep it under the carpet.
Do you think there's shame attached to it?
Yes, I absolutely think there was shame attached to it. And we abandoned a huge amount. We switched our language. The Irish language, pre-famine, was a bilingual culture. Post-famine, it was increasingly just an English-only culture. And, you are marooned when you switch a language. You leave a lot behind when you switch a language. And in some ways, we still haven't really fully kind of recovered from that either. No other country in Europe, not one, has lost this language as much as Ireland has. Now, that's one way of looking at it. But the other thing one might say is, really, if you look for the Irish response to the famine, it's the Irish revival itself. Why from the 1880s to the 1920s did we produce the greatest poet in the world at that time, in the Anglophone world anyway, Yeats? Why did we produce the greatest novelist, Joyce? Why did we produce a tremendous slew of dramatists, And the reason I would argue is because they're the ones who have to take responsibility for the famine. They're the ones who have to reimagine Ireland, but in the English language. Because in a sense, we had to make ourselves up. We had to reinvent ourselves in the Irish language, from switching from the Irish language to the English language. We had to kind of find a way to be Irish in the English language, and we had to take and break the English language and remould it to Irish purposes. But it's the post-famine generation which does it, and then they reinvent Ireland, and then that becomes, it takes a political response later. But it's a legacy of the famine, Tommy. The Irish revival at the end of the 19th century is the real cultural response to the famine.
And I suppose that's why I included that clip, because Pádraic Pearse was involved in that revival. A quiet man, a revolutionary. He died, 1916 rising. He was a poet. He was a barrister. And he died on the 3rd of May 1916 in Kilmalem jail, like a few more of his compadres. He was executed by the Brits. The Brits are at it again. Thankfully, that one came back to bite them in the arse. He was a famous nationalist and Republican, and he was involved in the revival. He is commemorated all over the country in buildings and teams and the GA, the Irish language, Irish culture. And his legacy was used in Northern Ireland, as they write. That's how they write it here, but it's actually the north of Ireland. And he was a Republican, a nationalist hero, I suppose, really is what he was. But a man who's still commemorated and will be for many years, I think. Had a big impact on Irish culture. And that's why that clip was kind of put on at the end of the Wolf Tones, their song called Pádraic Pearse. Just how that revival is ongoing, I suppose. I think we are nearly at the end of Seacht na Gaeilge, are we? Does it finish this week or last week? I should have paid more heed of that, actually. Should have got Dermot Coffey on. Diarmid, what thought to? Should have reached out, locked it in, as they say. Me hole, they say. They don't say it around here. Right. That is another man off the list, Pádraic Pearse, one of the big ones. Let's see who we have next. We're going to give an honourable mention to Paddy Riley. We're not playing the Fields of Athenry. We have Pádraic Harrington, Patti Smith, Paddy Considine, and Paddy Hill, and Paddy Maloney left. So there's still a nice bit to go. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Lisa Creasht. Creasht Lynn. What's the next song? That's usually the best thing to pivot around. Lock it in and pivot around it. Yes, the Chieftains. So we'll do the Paddy Maloney one. That's what we'll do now. We don't have many songs left then. We might have to put a few clips together. But let's get the Celebration of Paddy Maloney. A short one.
Did you ever think at any point about not working anymore? I mean, I know you're a human dynamo and all that, but did you ever consider such a thing?
Always, I've been at it now for 20 years, sort of saying, when am I going to give it up?
Yes.
And as Rita often tells people, is he ever going to retire? And she usually said, well, for the last 10 years he's been in rehearsal for retirement, you know. But it's still going on, and the offers come through, and the buzz, you miss it,
Yeah.
Like after 2 weeks, you get uneasy. You have to be out there, and the phone is ringing every day. I mean, every day of my life for the last 48 years, something's happening.
Yeah. What about life on the road with the Chieftains? Is it happy families, or is it shadow dysfunction?
It's great. I mean, there was times that it was up and down. There was fellas leaving, then they weren't leaving, they were coming back, and And but I kept it all together, as Matt Malloy usually says. Well, Paddy's the mammy, so we look to him, and hopefully, so there were trying times, but over the last 15 years it's been great. We've had a great time. It's been a great life. I wouldn't have.
What is the secret though? The bands can live in each other's pockets. I mean, how do you avoid that sense of if you like the Eagles, it's separate buses, separate countries? I mean,
No, we have it's in the contract. That. We have to have window seats. Everybody has a window seat.
So you don't have to sit beside each other.
That's it. And then we have separate floors on every hotel. Everyone is on a different floor, but it has to do with the fact that in case you want to practice, you don't want to be waiting up.
Well, that's a good excuse you just made up. Quick on your feet, Paddy.
But there was some guy in Atlanta actually, read this contract and gave it to the newspapers. They're splitting up. They have to be. They're on separate floors and all this.
Do you eat together? I mean,
nothing like that. There's one guy came into a hotel very early breakfast because we were going someplace, and there was 4 of us there, but each one was in the corner, different corner, having your breakfast. So always separate. We say hello and everything.
That's very big of you,
jokes and all that kind of thing. But you don't sit down together, Derek and I used to have great fun. We used to go out in the evening time and looking for Japanese restaurants and Chinese restaurants and Thai restaurants.
I just said restaurants there. There was a split second there and I thought, now we have a show in our hands.
That's the next interview. No, that's the next time. This is just a warm-up.
Tell me, it was a revelation to me during the week that you were in the same class.
Yeah, Marino School, the Christian Brothers.
And, good old days.
I'm very fortunate to have a brother there, Brother McCaffrey, Jim McCaffrey, who had us do you remember the singing classes, Paddy?
1 hour every day. And the tonic solfa, they used to have all the 4-part harmonies and different things like that, and it was great. And then he formed a band, it was the first kind of school band, you might say, 1952.
The tonic solfa? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, di, do, di, la, sol, di, la.
We actually do a very good so, mi, do, so, mi, so, do, so, mi, so, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, re, so, mi, so, fa, so, mi, so, re, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do, so, mi, so, do, so, mi, so, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, ti, re, mi, fa, re, ti, re, do, mi, do.
Hey! He taught you well. I remember being at a thing once, a meal, and you were there, and somebody at the table said, "Is there anyone who'd like to sing a song?" And everyone could look to each other going, "Jeez, we only had half a glass." And you said, you broke the awkwardness by saying, "I'll tell you what," and you produced from your pocket a tin whistle. I was very impressed. So is that what you do? Do you just keep it in case you get asked?
Absolutely, never go anywhere without it. Like my mistress,
Well, I don't know. Are you the same, John?
Yeah, actually, I was up in Arison Nuclear on last week, and Paddy walks in, and I said, "Have you got the equipment, Paddy?"
You have yours.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think we should get a song? Have you got a tune for us? What are you going to play?
So we play there's a jig called Banish Misfortune, which we could do these days.
I think it's an appropriate tune.
Very appropriate,
All right,
so we
gentlemen.
play it in our own sort of funny way.
Yeah, we tried it in the dressing room. It's working, I think.
That's loads of rehearsal time.
An annual rehearsal.
Here we go.
Banish Misfortune.
You started and I'll fall in.
That was great. You guys should record something together.
average town in the county down one morning last July. From a boring green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself for to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay of the Derrick J, I'm from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, sure I scratched my head and I looked with the feeling rare. And I says I to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair. He smiled at me and he says, see, that's a gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Banshee, the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay of the Derry J, I'm from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I seen like a fair Colleen that I met in the county down. At the harvest fair she'll be surely there, and I dress in my Sunday clothes. But my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right for a smile from a nut brown rose. No pipe of smoke, no horse I'll yoke, and my plough is rust-colored brown. Till the smiling bride by my own fireside fits the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay of the Derry J, I'm from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I sing like a brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay of the Derry J, I'm from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I sing like a brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay of the Derry J, I'm from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I sing like a brown Colleen that I met in the county down.
Paddy Maloney there, playing the tin whistle with one of the Dubliners. His name escapes me now. Sheehan, isn't it? Isn't it? It is Sheehan, I think, yeah. But he's a music extraordinaire, whatever that means. He's a musician and he was extraordinary. He's a composer and a producer as well. And of course, co-founder of The Chieftains. He played on all of their 44 albums. And he's kind of associated with the Uilleann Pipes and the revival of the Uilleann Pipes. But he didn't die that long ago. He died back in 2021. But a famous man. Absolute famous man, yeah. They formed the Dubliners, imagine, in 1962, like. And they won 6 Grammys. Jesus Christ. Massive influence on Irish trad music all over the world. And toured and played non-stop, like. Yeah, there's some buys. Some buys. There's some good documentaries on them, some good old footage. No more than the boys we played there a while ago, the Patti band. There's a bit of a doco on them getting back together and playing a few gigs. Missing a few, but soldiering on. So yeah, that's that was with Van Morrison, who we featured earlier, and the star of the county down. And we are running out of Paddies, Patricks, Pats and Padraics. And we're going to go, we gave Paddy Riley an honourable mention. We have Paddy Considine. And then we've got 2 left then. I'm not sure which way to go with them, but we'll see. One of them is, we should probably finish maybe with Padraic Harrington. It's an unusual clip I came across. But let's have Paddy Considine first. You might remember him from the film we're about to quote, Dead Man's Shoes, but he was also in one of the Bournes. He was the journalist that wouldn't follow Jason's instructions. I'd be inclined to. Maybe he hadn't seen the other movies. I don't know.
The basic bones of it are it's a revenge movie, but the difference is that we set it in the Midlands, in the peaks, and thought, well, what if this happened in our town? This thing instead of in Ohio somewhere or something like First Blood, or what if this happened here? So that was the basis of it, and we wrote it in a few weeks. We had not a completely kind of full and strong screenplay, but we had about 60 pages of scenes and dialogues and things that we knitted together. But I think that the truth of it is that we come back to what feels the most honest to us in our heart, and that's where Dead Man Shoes came. And I think we shot it in less than 3 weeks. So that was the mentality going in. It was just a guerrilla style, back to basics film, you know, with a smaller crew. It was necessary.
You're making me very nervous, Richard. Well, you should be. If I were you, I'd get in that fucking car and I'd get out of here, man. And I'd gather them goonies and get whatever you've got and come with me. Because I'm gonna fucking hit you all.
Not like being threatened, Richard.
I'm not threatening you, mate. It's beyond fucking words. I watched over you when you were asleep, and I looked at your fucking neck, and I was that far away from slicing it. You're fucking there, mate. So get in that car and fuck off. You get to me first. Just fine.
Great old actor is Paddy Considine, and that's a film. I don't know why I haven't seen it. I've seen loads of clips of it. So really and truly, I just need to watch all the clips together and watch it as one film. And I'm going to do that at the weekend. We're near the end, I think. I'm going to have a song now called Making Sand, and that's by Padriag, and it features Nicky Leighton Thomas. And Padriag is a man from the Aran Islands. There's a couple of focal Gaeilge sa Aran seo. So, Tassul agam go ban a midge tatnav as an Aran seo. I think that makes sense. Níl is agam. Níl ma Gaeilge an a lodger ach is even lum a bheith habalta nís mo Gaeilge a úsáid. Béidir. Someday, maybe. Béidir. What's the Irish for practice? I don't know what it is. I should know what it is. It's probably one of the first ones I should have learned. But we have just heard from the man himself, Paddy Considine, and we have 2 left. So we're going to get Paddy Hill on. This is a dark one. This is a heavy one now. And I don't have it paired up with a song. Oh, I do. Padriag, sorry, yeah. And the Brits are at it again. That's all I'll say. We'll play the clip and then we'll play the song. Probably better finish on the song. And we're getting to the end then. We'll be under the 4 hours. Jesus Christ. I'm going to limit myself to a half an hour show next week. I promise. I swear to God.
For 16 and a half years, we've been used as political scapegoats for people in there at the highest. The police told us from the start that they knew we hadn't done it. They told us they didn't care who done it. They told us that we were selected and that they were going to frame us just to keep the people in there happy. That's what it's all about. Justice. I don't think them people in there have got the intelligence nor the honesty to spell the word, never mind dispense it. They're rotten.
I've seen a lot of people in jail, and you find them in every jail, and people are very bitter and twisted, and you can't get a 2 minutes conversation out of them, you know. They haven't got a good word to say about anybody or anything, and what we used to say to each other and the others, like, there but for the grace of God go I. Me, I'm the practical joker out of the 6 of us, like, you know, I like to have a good crack and a laugh, and I'm the sort of person that won't be down for long. But to see some of the people going around in jail that are bitter and twisted, no, it's like a disease. It eats from within, and there ain't nothing, they're only a shell. Me, I made a rule from the start that I was going to prove my innocence, and I made a rule also that I was going to try and come out more or less the same man as what I went in. I knew that when I come out, it was going to be 3 things different. I was going to be a little bit older, a little bit sadder, but a hell of a lot wiser. And that's the way I've come out of jail, you know. And thank God, like, well, for all of us, there's none of us angry. Like, I've heard people pass remarks about what I said outside the Bailey. They said it was very angry, very forceful. Maybe it was, but then again, the truth is always forceful. Angry, yes. Why shouldn't I be angry? I've had to sit in the prison cell for 16 and a half years and see them just take my life away for nothing. And they used us. They told us from the start that they knew we hadn't done it. They told us they didn't care who done it. And they told us that we had been picked. And they said that they had us and that was good enough. As long as they got convictions, they're happy. And keeps the public off their gaffers back and their gaffers off ours. They come in and offered me bits of paper to sign. Nothing on them. Told me, sign there, we'll take care of it. We go and get your wife, your kids, we bring them down to you. No. They weren't interested in justice or nothing, you know. They just wanted bodies, and that's what they told us. Not only that, when they were battering and torturing me, they told me, they pointed like that, and they said, we have orders right from the very top to do what we want with you. As long as we get a confession out of you and your name on a bit of paper, that's all. And that's exactly what they done. And they done it with impunity, you know. And we ain't the only ones. There's loads of people in jail, but the degree of brutality and torture against them couldn't be levelled at the police the same as it's been levelled in our case, you know.
Islands stand amongst the waves out here, from Inishmore and Inishmount to Innisfail. The ocean lives amongst us, grinding rocks around us. We're just making sand out here. Prehistoric forts were laid out here. Monks and scholars welcome saints and peers. From cliffs where forts are standing, some rocks below are landing, just making sand out here. And the roads they see said Rosseville. Long ago they rode their corrupts here, with bones of burnt marrow, shared blood with Connemara. We're just making sand out here. The seaside yields a fertile sod out here. Fishermen have another god to fear. The sea, it gives a plenty, but it can take so quickly, just making sand out here. An ancient language is ingrained out here. A Celtic culture still maintained, so dear. I don't cheer like Chango, just making sand out here. And the rocks they see said Rosseville. Long ago they rode their corrupts here, with bones of burnt marrow, shared blood with Connemara. We're just making sand out here. Three Celtioch and Yachamu, Chafton Shaw, Shanach Don, a call it's blue, Toigo and Shaw, Ilan Ole nach Jacket, Marigero Geron, so Flarta, Silik John, a Banye, a Munshaw. And the rocks they see said Rosseville. Long ago they rode their corrupts here, with bones of burnt marrow, shared blood with Connemara. We're just making sand out here. And the rocks they see said Rosseville. Long ago they rode their corrupts here, with bones of burnt marrow, shared blood with Connemara. We're just making sand out here.
That's a track that's from a man from the Aran Islands. That's a track that's grown on me. Padriag, he's got a few other tunes. I don't know, I can't remember if we played them before, but yeah, I like that. I just like it. And I think it was a nice antidote to the bleakness, well, I suppose the resilience in the bleakness. And it reminds me of Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. 16 years in jail, like. Sure, it's very hard for an ordinary person to even comprehend that, like. And that wouldn't be 16 soft years now either. Jesus Christ, there's some boys. He died a few years ago. Paddy Hill. Yeah, they went through it, I suppose they went through it, but it was that kind of a time. It was a different time, wasn't it? And the Brits were at it. But then again, they tend to be always at it. Yeah, he only died the 23rd of December 2024. Yeah. Part of the Birmingham 6. I don't think we'll go into that now, but it's heavy stuff, like. Wrongly convicted, 1974, Birmingham pub bombings. And you heard the story there, really. You heard enough. Get the feel for it. Like Pat Finucane and many more like them. I know there's two sides to it all, like, but the old state-sponsored stuff doesn't sit well. Spits out, Brits out, only smokes carols, as the Fontaines DC's boys do say. Shout out to Bakemore, Agdullamach, Le Paddy Verley, and Clem Quinn, who's living on the West Coast, who sent me an ingenious invention in the post the other day. An untapped creative talent, Clement. Live your best life. Anyway, we're near the end. We're near the end and I'm tired and emotional, as Eamon Dunphy said. Right, where are we going to next? I think we've only one or two left. I nearly have all the... Oh, Jesus, what am I after doing here? Oh, Spotify won't open. That's right. Oh, I'm always getting a bit windy when I'm up on the 4 hours with Audition. She doesn't like the files that big. But anyway. Right, where are we? Ca Willamage. We have 2 songs left. And we have 3 songs left. So it's going to take us to the 4 hour mark, I reckon. We might have to split this up into a few bits and bobs. But let's have a song from a man called Paddy Casey. Then we'll have Pádraic Carrington, which is an odd one now, I won't lie to you. It's a bizarre video. Unbelievable, bizarre. What's Goobu? Grotesque, unbelievable, bizarre and unprecedented. That's what it is now. So let's get it on. Listen to the jibber jabbing.
Well, anyone can lose it all. Well, anyone can lose it all. And you don't heed your warnings call. Well, anyone can lose it all. Well, anyone can make a mess. Yeah, anyone can make a mess. Just take so much and make it less. Well, anyone can make a mess. When you got time and streets making saints and sinners, Lincoln sheets making losers and winners. It's not what your dreams should be. Well, anyone can be a saint. Well, anyone can be a saint. When you just forget that you ain't. We can go and be a saint. Well, anyone can be a star. Well, anyone can be a star. Well, just get in your car. We can go and be a star. When you got time and streets making saints and sinners, Lincoln sheets making losers and winners. Well, it's not what your dreams should be. Be. You know, I wish we'd had more time. You know, I wish we'd had more time. You know, I think it was a crime. The things we'd waste, trying not to waste our time. You got time and streets making saints and sinners. Well, ink on sheets making losers for winners. Let's know what your dreams should be. When you got time and streets making ends for beginners, shuffling feet on these losers and winners. Let's know what your dreams should be.
When I was 12, I went for the school choir and I didn't get in it. I haven't sung a note ever since I'm 12 years of age. I don't sing in the shower, I don't sing in the car because somebody decided, you know what, you're not good enough to be in the choir. And at that stage I took that, well, if you can't make a school choir, you can't sing.
When you think about the greatest singers of all time, it's hard to think about anyone other than Padraic Harrington. Part of the biggest band in the world, U2, he's known as the Wedge. He called himself that because he feared if he wasn't a rock star, he'd become a golfer. Oh my goodness. Which would have been incredibly sad. Along with Bono and the rest of U2, here's some of his work.
I love my fans. I love taking selfies and giving them autographs. I call them the Wedgelets, and I love every last one of them. I love leather and lots of jewellery. I love being on the biggest talk shows in the world, even if I can't get a word in edgeways with Bono.
Have a little there with the bad haircut.
But most of all, I love to sing. Don't move, don't talk all the time, don't think, don't worry, everything's just fine. Just fine. Don't grab, don't clutch, don't hope for too much, don't breathe, don't achieve or breathe without leave. I feel numb, too much is not enough. Winning the Lifetime Achievement Award is only the start. I want to do everything. I want to shave a swear word in my hair. I want to throw a TV out the window. And I'd love to do a collab with Phil Mickelson from Oasis.
You gotta roll with it, you gotta take it time, you gotta say what you say, don't let anybody get.
The future is bright, and it's shaped like Padraic Harrington.
The winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award for services to singing is Padraic the Wedge Harrington.
People think I stopped playing after 2008.
Retired.
Yeah, I had a much better year in 2009, especially the second half of 2009. I had a much better year 2010. My best year stats-wise, Tita Green, was like 2012, where I was broken. Rory broke me in 2011.
He broke everyone, didn't they?
Yes, but forget that. They broke everybody, but I was the best player. That's what I believed. So I've gone into congressional. Adam Scott said, I played a practice round with Adam Scott on Wednesday. He came in and did an interview and told everybody to go home. He says, you might as well all go home. Padraic Harrington's winning this. Okay? I am, in my head, I am the best player. I've won 3 majors, like, just recently. I'm in great form. I prepared right. I go into this tournament and Rory does something that I can't compete with. Wipes the floor. Like, we're all the same. He's just blown us all away, right? But that's okay. If I thought I could get better, that's fine. You know, so when Tiger was doing that in the early 2000s, I was only on my way up. This is me at my best, and I don't think I can compete with him. So the big difference, and it's happened, you name every player who's hit a peak. In 2008, I was not looking over my shoulder. I was only concerned about me. 2011 onwards, I'm now thinking I'm not good enough. I need to be a better version of me in order to compete with Rory. People think I like stopped playing after 2008.
There's a story about, I believe you were in South Africa, and you received the check for your performance and called your mum. And can you remember the story? Could you share it with us?
I'll only give you the shortest version I can of this story. I was in Nairobi playing a Challenge Tour event. I got an invite to play the PGA Championship in South Africa, a European Tour event. Got it on the Monday. 3 guys refused to go. I went, got there Tuesday, went practice round. I'm really going the quick version. I got seriously dehydrated on the Wednesday. Like, I practiced for 12 hours in the heat. Just ridiculous stuff. I was shaked all night. You know, I'm sure I should have been gone to hospital on a drip. Got up the next day. I played with clubs that were 4 degrees too upright for me. They weren't Wilson. A brand new set of clubs. I had to grip them on the steel for the week. I hit the golf ball everywhere, but back then I seriously had a good short game, and I got up and down every single hole, many birdie putts, just hold everything. At the end of the week I finished 46th. I won £1,480. I rang my mother and said, Mum, I couldn't have played worse. I finished 46th. I've won £1,480. They are just giving it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, Padraic Harrington. Thank you, my man. That was awesome.
Don't move, don't talk, out of time, don't think, don't worry, everything's just fine. Just fine. Don't grab, don't clutch, don't hope for too much, don't breathe, don't achieve or grieve without leave. Don't check, just balance on the fence, don't answer, don't ask, don't try and make sense. Don't whisper, don't talk, don't run if you can walk, don't cheat, compete, don't miss the one beat. Don't travel by train, don't peek, don't spill, don't piss in the drain, don't let the will. Don't fill any phone, don't compensate, don't die, don't call, don't know I'm late. Don't hover at the gate. Don't take it on board, don't fall on your sword, just play another chord. If you feel it getting bored. Don't change your brain, don't listen to the band, don't get, don't choose yet. Have another breath. Don't plead, don't bridle, don't shackle, don't guide, don't curve, don't swerve. Lie, die, serve. Don't theorize, realize, polarize, glance, dance, dismiss, apologize. Don't spy, don't lie, don't try, imply, detain, explain, start again. Don't drive, don't coax, don't cling, don't hoax, don't freak, don't leak, don't speak. Don't project, don't connect, protect, don't expect, suggest. Don't project, don't connect, protect, don't expect, suggest. Don't struggle, don't jerk, don't cry, don't work, don't wish, don't fish, don't teach, don't reach. Don't borrow, don't break, don't fence, don't steal, don't pass, don't press, don't cry, don't feel. Don't touch, don't dine, don't suffer, don't rhyme, don't fantasize, don't rise, don't die.
project, don't connect, protect, don't expect, suggest. Don't project, don't connect, protect, don't expect, suggest.
That was our celebration of Padric Harrington. A little bizarre. There's a clip in there I found on YouTube where someone has gone to a lot of work to do the voices, and they have photoshopped Padric Harrington's face into a load of videos with Bono on the edge. Then Phil Mickelson as one of the Gallagher brothers. It's absolutely bizarre. They put a lot of work into it, and I'd love to give them credit, but I can't think of their name. But we're just about at the end of the show now. That was the oddball one I was going to throw in. Padric Harrington, serious golfer, one of Ireland's finest golfers, and we've had Paddy Hill. We've had them all. So we're going to finish on a song. We started with the song that opened the Fontaines gig in Spark Arena in Auckland last week, and we're going to finish with the song they finished with, and it was absolutely class. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been nearly 4 hours. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to need some sort of supervision down here. But not to worry, I've enjoyed playing the music, putting the clips together, bit of crack. Hope you've enjoyed listening to it. If you have, tune in next week and you wouldn't know what it'll be. It might be a 10-minute show. You might be lucky. Thanks for listening. Mind the buses, tug a buggy, and we will definitely see you next Tuesday.
Swallow the key in that footprints I will follow. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business.
The podcast you just listened to was a live recording of a radio show, first broadcast on Fresh FM with support from New Zealand On Air. Fresh FM is a community access media station based in Te Tauihu, the top of the South Island, New Zealand. The funding of Access Media makes these podcasts possible. To find similar programs by other community access media stations, go online to accessmedia.nz. If you or your group would like to know more about how you can have a program on our station, please contact us. Visit our website freshfm.net for our contact details.